everyone, my name is Chris Luckham. I work in education for FOREO, and I am so excited to be doing this extra snippet with the incredible and gorgeous Dr. Nina Bell.
Thank you so much for having me. Such a pleasure being here with you.
We're going to be talking summer skin because it's very apt. We've dressed to the occasion, we're ready for it. I'm going to be picking your brains to really look at how we need to change our routine for summer. So right off the bat, what is the first shift from maybe a winter skincare regime to summer that most clients or yourself see as a change? What's your big tip?
So what I would say is perhaps one of the most important things in the summer is cleansing, because obviously we are sweating more due to the warmer temperatures. We are applying SPF very likely every single day. I hope you do. So I think one thing I'm really strict with my clients is to say you have to cleanse thoroughly, AM and PM. So that's when Luna 3 comes into place, and it's brilliant because in literally 1 minute you can have a really thorough cleanse. The reason why you should cleanse in the AM in the summer is because obviously if you apply any actives in the evening, for example such as retinols, you want to make sure it's completely gone before you go in the sunshine.
What would be the dangers for that if you did leave it on? What could we expect from that?
Really good question. So the main danger of leaving any vitamin A products or such as retinol on the skin in the sunshine could be that it can actually interact with the UV rays, and then it can actually cause to skin damage, pigmentation, and cancer. But the retinol is a really funny one because if used on a long term, it actually makes the dermis, the layer of the skin, thicker and plumper and healthier. But while you're using it, the top layers of the skin, the epidermis, actually gets thinner, and all the layers of the skin that we don't need come off. So in that process, you want to make sure we protect the skin as the news. Exactly.
What are the risks for skin during the summer period?
Oh, so many risks. So I would say anything from, first of all, more acne, more breakouts, because of course we are sweating a lot, so there's so much bacteria. Exactly. Obviously the fact that you can be more prone to redness or rosacea due to the actual heat of the summer. Also anything from pigmentation and damage. So actually it can be a very risky time for skin.
What is something that you suffer with the most in summer, very contrastingly to winter? What's something personally that we can find out from you?
Yeah, so as I think my followers will know, and I'm very open about it, I'm an ex-melasma sufferer.
Yes.
So actually melasma is something that is chronic. So if you don't know what melasma is, it's basically pigmentation in the skin. It's almost called like the butterfly, because it can look like a horrendous butterfly in the cheeks. So really bad pigmentation. So I obviously managed to keep it completely under control, but it's something that will always be underlying. So for me, the summer, it's that time where I really want to make sure it doesn't flare up anymore. So very strict with my obviously actives, SPF, making sure I remove Luna 3, all the actives in the morning. I remove my SPF in the evening, so everything I put on gets also absorbed. And also I nourish my skin, make sure, and that's again when UFO2 can come into place, but I want to make sure my skin barrier is completely, perfect all the time. So I just nourish it by using anything like Make My Day, for example, which is lovely.
And that's the hyaluronic acid, so it's really cocooning and calming for your skin. Anyone obviously watching, follow your story with your skin, because you've dramatically changed with pigmentation, and obviously we're talking summer skin. It's really interesting how you've really got to make sure you're cocooning it and looking after it while still continuing your active ingredients. Would you ever slow down the treatments during summertime, or as long as you're protecting your skin and using the right products and skincare routine, can you carry on to the same extent?
Really good question. Again, quite tricky. I mean, I guess it depends which country you live in and if you're going on holiday. So personally, my decision is to stop the actives if I go back to my beloved Italy, or if I go in the sunshine on a sunny holiday, because I just don't want to take any risks. So I stop my retinol, any actives about 2 weeks before, and absolutely I take my Luna 3 everywhere I am, so making sure I remove all my SPF, every active, obviously every day, morning and evening, and then I just protect it. So for me, the summertime is the time where you just want to make sure nothing gets worse. So your SPF, you're nourishing the skin, UFO2, you just really nurture your skin.
Okay, so you take a holiday from some of those more intense
Yes,
ingredients
I do.
as well as a holiday for
I
yourself.
personally do.
I like it. Something I personally suffer a lot with is oiliness.
Okay.
I go 0 to shine in a few seconds, like a very nice Italian Ferrari, something like that. What are your top summer tips for someone or our lovely viewers who suffer with an oilier skin type or combination skin?
Yeah, of course. So I would say cleansing, absolutely non-negotiable. So again, AM and PM, your Lunar 3, absolutely.
With what sort of cleanser?
So if you've got oily skin, you can go with a gel cleanser, absolutely, because you want to make sure you really go into those pores. You can use, if you want to go, the extra mile, using some salicylic acid, BHA-based gel cleansers with your Lunar 3, absolutely. Then in the evening, you want to make sure you also repair your skin by actually using something like green tea. And you're going to absolutely fantastic, antioxidant bacteria, so that will be fantastic for your kind of skin. And also you want to make sure you use your SPF, but in your case, on anyone who has oily skin, I would personally maybe go with a physical block instead of a chemical SPF. And then you want to go for something that is a really broad spectrum, so anti-UVA and UVB, and also oil-free and non-comedogenic, so you don't trigger more breakouts while you're protecting your skin.
Okay, are there any things in terms of cleansers that you would just say steer away from? So you mentioned before gel, something light and refreshing, so the microfoam cleanser, this is one of my favorites. I also like a salicylic acid gel wash, especially in the morning, sometimes if your skin kind of overnight, if you've sweated a lot or your skin's built up. Are there any kind of textures of cleansers that you would say steer away from, or is it kind of anything that you would like using?
If you have oily skin, I would say I perhaps wouldn't use a creamy cleanser. Yeah, I would just go, as you said, perfectly. Absolutely, I would go with gel, I would go with salicylic acid, brilliant choices. I perhaps would stay away from creamy cleanser. The only situation where I would definitely go just for a creamy cleanser would be in case of rosacea, heat. I also have rosacea myself. In that case, it can be, if your skin gets really red by the heat, then it could be a fantastic choice. Okay,
you mentioned before the UFO2. What would be the best LED light therapy for someone who is suffering with an oily skin type or combination skin?
So I would say if you've got oily skin, maybe you can go for a thermotherapy option or for sonic, whether if you have or actually, if you have really active breakouts and if your skin is very inflamed, you can totally go for the cryotherapy, which will just calm everything down. So if your skin is really craving the fact that you want to be cooled down, cryotherapy could be actually maybe the best.
And that is a key word in summer when you're hot.
Yeah.
Pores are going to be dilated to God knows what. So that's a really good tip. So before you mentioned with the oily skin types, there's certain SPFs and sun creams to use. What can we ask you about? What kind of different forms are there to use? I want to ask you, tell us a little bit more about the different forms of SPF that you can get on the market.
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say there are two main categories of SPF out there. So you can either go for the physical block or for the chemical block. So the main difference is that if you go for a physical block, they basically reflect the UV rays away from your skin. Whether if you go for a chemical block, your skin absorbs all the rays. So I think it's a personal choice. Sometimes the physical block can feel slightly more heavy, although that's not necessarily be the case for everything. Whether the chemical filters can feel slightly lighter, so that's why some people go for that. Personal choice. I personally
What's your favorite?
Physical block for
Physical block, okay.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, it's safer. It doesn't go in the bloodstream, also being a woman, a mum. I just want to make sure my body is very, very clean. So I personally go for physical block. Either way, I would say just make sure your SPF is protected against UVA, UVB, infrared, and ideally also high energy visible light, because it's easy to forget about the devices, but we are literally every day all day on phone, the iPad, the laptop,
lights,
and totally exactly bombarded, so that it just gives the extra protection. Exactly.
More things to worry about, eh?
I know.
We've spoken so much about SPF, which is natural. Obviously, I feel like any time that we talk about summer skin, whether that's on your lives, your posts, your amazing TikTok, everything, SPF is always the number one. So how important is it to remove SPF and your favorite ways of removing it?
Okay, well, removing SPF, it's essential because obviously unless you do it properly, then whatever you put afterwards on top of your PM routine doesn't get into your skin. So absolutely essential is to remove the SPF thoroughly, and the way you can do it efficiently in 1 minute is with the Luna 3.
Okay. What kind of cleanses with it?
So I would say if you go, unless you've got rosacea, I would say gel cleanser is fantastic because it really goes into your pores, and if you had a bit of BHA, a bit of salicylic acid or AHA, then it really makes sure everything is gone. Or if you've got rosacea, then you can use perhaps a creamy cleanser, maybe use it just twice to do a double cleansing. So Luna 3 would be the absolutely perfect way to remove completely your SPF. So obviously then when you do your skincare regime in the evening, all the actives, all the goodness that you put afterwards goes exactly where it should go.
Love it. Okay, so one, I'm playing devil's advocate here, and I just really want to kind of get into your head of how you cleanse and how you adapt, because me and us, the team, as many of your followers, look at your list and your guidance is biblical. So we're still talking about summer skin. And I know with FOREO, with this whole trio of devices, it's kind of the 6-minute supercharged facial. So it's the cleansing, the workout, the lifting, the one that we can do easily, and then the UFO, which is kind of that cocooning layer of the skin. So we've on videos talked about how to use it kind of generically. Now we have you here and I'm privileged enough to be sat down picking your brain, which I hope you all appreciate watching. How can we adapt all of those steps best for summer? So number one, what cleanser will we use with Luna? Are there different motions to use? You know, with Bare, would it change how much serum we use with it? With UFO, what mask would be your best summer mask? So I'm throwing tons of info. Go, summer skin with the 6-minute supercharged facial. Okay,
so first of all, I think as you said, it's brilliant that if you get those 3 devices, really you can do it all. And I mean, we are all time poor, but we all have 6 minutes, so we can all do it. So first of all, in the summer, I would say, so the Luna 3, I personally love this size because I can really use it on all my face, but you can absolutely use, get the mini one, travels one, if you travel a lot. So I would say in the summer, obviously we all wear SPF. So you want to use Luna with a gel cleanser, ideally. Again, unless you have rosacea, unless your skin is really, really inflamed, then you can use it absolutely with a creamy cleanser. So the way I personally use it is with upwards motion. So not only cleanses my skin, but I really go obviously perfectly all around my hairline, absolutely, because obviously I go, and you should use rub in your SPF everywhere, so all along your hairline, the nose. So I use this very useful tip of the Luna 3 to really go into the corners of my nose, right, to make sure everything is cleansed, everything goes. So everything from obviously upwards motions, hairline, and then I just go into the nose. It's actually really safe to use it even if you have even if your skin feels irritated. It's so gentle, and that's why I recommend to all my clients, even if you got rosacea, because it is really gentle and it will not make your skin worse at all. Then I would say, obviously, after your skin is cleansed, the way I like to use Bare in the summer is actually just literally for a few minutes. So I don't have much time, I've got 2 small children, but it just gives me that extra lift. Sometimes, after a really long day in the summer, you almost feel like your skin and your whole face is just dragging down. And
inflamed even just with the heat. I feel that kind of sluggish, and also drinking, eating more.
Absolutely. It's exactly the same. Like if you have obviously had a drink or enjoyed dinner, obviously, which is great. But exactly, now that the restriction is lifted, but then this would just give you the extra workout that you just feel everything tighter. And so I personally love the feeling of using this a couple of minutes. Cool.
To keep it nice and short, you've got a holiday. So that's, I think when most people see microcurrent, it's kind of daunting. And I think we appreciate, you use it so much and you're an avid user of it, and me also. But we all almost need to say through the camera, if you are watching this, even if it can sound really alien or overwhelming using it, you know, you're only talking 2 minutes, you said?
Absolutely.
So not long at all. And then what would the next step be out of my 10-minute question that I asked you?
Yeah.
You're nearly done, well done.
And then the next step would be my UFO 2. So again, the great thing about these devices is that if you really don't know what to go for, it really does it all. So it is the next thing, you know, close to a professional in-clinic treatment, because it contains so many options. You get the hyperinfusion of the active, so basically helps whatever actives you put on your skin to get penetrated in the best and most efficient way. You can go for the thermotherapy, cryotherapy, and in the summer, I think it's brilliant to use it with this. If you're extremely hot, it's to cool down your skin with the green tea. Absolutely brilliant.
Is that one of your favorites?
It is. Yeah. In the summer, it is for sure. I'm lucky enough I don't suffer from many breakouts, but lots of my patients that suffer from acne also love this as well. Otherwise, if I've been all day on the beach with my children running around and I feel like my skin barrier is compromised and I just want to restore it, then I go for either Make My Day, which I personally love.
Even the smell, opening it, yeah. We were talking about this actually before the filming.
Yeah.
The fact that this is your favorite, this is one of the classic masks.
Yes.
It is such a kind of an oldie but a goodie. So it's so nice to actually hear that even though you have all the options to choose everything, you still give a bit of love to the original. So I like that.
I just love the combination of hyaluronic acid, which is inside Make My Day. And again, if I feel like, I don't know, I haven't put enough SPF, my skin feels really hot, then I go for H2 Overdose, one of my favorite as well.
It's a little richer.
Yeah, exactly.
You're lucky. For me, it's a little too heavy with the ceramide, but what I like with that is at night time. But if you're definitely a dry, more sensitive skin type, H2 Overdose is amazing. So how long would you do the UFO portion of that facial?
2 minutes.
That's amazing. So actually, technically, if you do it to that, you've got a minute in between. So
yeah, exactly.
You know, we've got our coffees out of camera. That gives us a bit of time to send a quick voice note, which I heard you do before, have a sip of the coffee, relax. What are your favorite colors of devices, and which Luna do you currently use? Which skin type is your personal favorite?
Right, so my devices are all pink. I love pink, but
Princess, love it.
Funny enough, yeah, life gave me 2 brothers and 2 sons, so I've got lots of men around me. So everything is this pink, but I actually love this. So my skin type is dry, so I really go for you know, whichever mask and whichever serum is for dry normally skin type. So yeah, I just have breakouts.
So any true FOREO fan, Glow Addict is the exact same shade of pink as this. So we feel like if you were going to go all that, it would be this, and Glow Addict. And the pink ESA 3 and everything. So yeah, you can go all out if you like pink.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've given me tons of tips for summer skin. Thank you. I do sometimes take a little longer using the devices, so I'm going to challenge myself and try and do it within 6 minutes. And I'm going to try green tea because it's been a while since I've done it. Thank you so much for sitting down and letting me grill you with probably the longest question you've ever been asked. And thank you for everybody watching. Make sure to follow us for all of the incredible content for not only summer, but soon autumn, soon winter, and everything.
Thank you for watching.